What's up, addicts? Masked Man back again, coming at you live with another reaction video. No, I'm not. Okay, so I love music. We all love music, I think. If you don't love music, I think you have an issue. Anyway, so for this album review, I'm reviewing one of my all-time favorite albums of a band that no longer exists, which is depressing because I never got to see them live. But you know, that's life, isn't it?
Cymbalta can help with that, though.
Cymbalta can help with everything,
Not
apparently. But it's an album called Scary Kids Scaring Kids by the band Scary Kids Scaring Kids. Creative.
Make something redundant enough, it'll work.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, how many bands have self-titled albums? Like, all of them? Anyway, so this album is very metal and just like heavy rock focused. And because of that, it's kind of a hard album for people to get into. But songs like Degenerates and The Deep End, one of my favorite songs on this entire album, A Pistol to My Temple. Yes, I know that sounds like suicide. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. But then you also have some songs on this album that are kind of like breathers from that. You have the song Derailed and the song Watch Me Bleed, which is a really freaking slow power ballad that is just depressing as fuck. But it is such a good listen, and I cannot suggest it enough to people who like kind of heavy metal music in general. Now, the reason I really like this album is because this band had a very unique sound while they were around. I mean, granted, you know, they kind of had the same screaming style, and they had the same... I guess they had like kind of the same everything, but it was just the way that they played their music. It was the way that they combined certain instruments to make certain sounds that just fit perfectly. And going to that song, A Pistol to My Temple, the way that they used the guitars just perfectly for that. The way they just like seamlessly go into like the riffs that they have and the eventual guitar solo. But also, like, just the power and emotion behind the singer's voice. It's honestly just impressive to me. And I wish I could be that man. But I'm not. Boo-hoo me. But then combine that with a song like Watch Me Bleed, where it is a strong power ballad. It's straight piano with a couple guitars in there. Just going at it. And you sit there and you listen to it, and you're like, this doesn't belong on an album like this. But if you really think about it, it does. I mean, some of the other songs that do that same kind of thing is the song Set Sail, where it has a very slow opening and a very slow kind of middle and end. But in between all those parts, it has a very big climax. And it's just... it's amazing. It surprises me sometimes when I find a band to figure out like what kind of music they made and how they did it, and just looking at Scary Kids Scaring Kids, I can't complain. I mean, I think this album's amazing, and I think a lot of people would really like to listen to it. And I think everyone should give it a listen. I think it's an album that, if you like heavy metal or heavy rock or even some slower songs done by heavy metal bands, I think it's a song. I think it's the album for you. And for me personally, I'm gonna give it a solid. I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. And my only reasoning, I'm deducting points from it because I want to give it a straight 10 out of 10, but I can't. Is because, namely, the song Derailed. It's a very short, 1 minute, 30-second song that is literally just an intermission. But it's so early in the album that the intermission wasn't needed. And I think that's what deducts 2 points for me. is that one song, and it kind of sucks, but I mean, what can you really do, you know? But yeah, so that was my album review for the album Scary Kids Scaring Kids by Scary Kids Scaring Kids. You know, the complete redundancy. And yeah, I hope you guys are willing to go give it a listen and that you like the album. Peace.